Welcome back, guys, to Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations, where last episode, after returning to the Theatrum Neutralis, both sides of the investigation met, with Agent Lang thinking he had missed his mark, ready to call the investigation to its end. An interjection from Gumshoe started our laying out of the evidence we had found, prompting Agent Shih-na to answer questions about her movements, in which she started cracking up, bringing memories back of all those years ago. We now take on a rebuttal, as we focus on the revolving even, fireplace. Yes, the reviving. Well, it's revived our case, that's for sure. Let's press. In my eyes, all you proved is that the rotating fireplace was used. It sounds to me like you're saying my explanation is not good enough. But I was able to go through the revolving door myself, so that should be proof enough even for you, pal. Ha! It looks like you don't quite understand. But by your looks, I can guess you're not all that learned. Ah! Talk about rude. You should watch what you say, pal. Sadly, I can't say I disagree with her on that one. But you know what I mean, right? You may have proven that the fireplace was used. Look, she's got a great heart. But you can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace now, can you? So you want proof that the Yatagarasu was the one who used the fireplace? That's right. Well, do you have any? Can you prove that it wasn't the Yatagarasu who used the fireplace? Good point. I don't need to prove anything to you. Objection! Okay, if you could please not steal my line. Sorry, but I just couldn't hold it in anymore. Well, don't fret and leave it to me. All you have to do is sit back and watch. Ha! You may seem to have some wiggle room, but without any evidence, it's meaningless. So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. Hold it! I don't have any evidence about exactly who, unless I found, like, the coat. It's possible that the Yatagarasu left fingerprints inside the fireplace. Very possible to search. Sorry, but I had the forensics team check that already. Wait, you already checked the fireplace, did you? What? Hello? Were you not going to reveal this to us? That the revolving fireplace was, like, an interesting thing? All they found were prints belonging to Ambassador Plano and Mr. Cochin. Cusses. I should have known better than to think the Yatagarasu would have been so careless, but she just... What? She just brought up the fact that she had that place checked despite the fact it shouldn't be in any way of interest-ish? I guess maybe she said she had everything in the room checked? But there must be some sort of evidence that we still have yet to find. I take it you have no further objections? Oh god, when are we going, are you? Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation. So Interpol has finished examining the entire Babylese embassy. Yes, the investigators who weren't allowed into Alabas were incredibly helpful. They all put in great efforts to search for any sign of the Yatagarasu. And yet, despite all that effort, it appears that they failed to notice the lack of ash in the office fireplace. Furthermore, you were the one who inspected the room next to Mr. Cochin's, correct? I didn't notice the ash there in the fireplace of that room, and for that I'm sorry. You don't need to apologize, Shih-na. As your boss, your mistakes are my mistakes. So allow me to apologize for you. I'm sorry. You know, maybe this guy's not such a bad guy after all. He apologized for his subordinate and everything. What a great boss! Are you saying that I don't do anything for my own subordinates? No, nothing of the sort, sir. You cut my pay regularly. You're someone I really respect, sir, even if you are a bit too strict sometimes. There's only a problem on your end. Wow, way to be super hard on him in response. Am I really too strict on everyone? Yes. Up his pay to normal levels, pretty please. If not more, he's actually been really loyal to you. Not that loyalty should get extra pay or anything, but he's actually proven himself to be at least on the side of justice. Good heart, has Gumshoe. Maybe not all that learned, but he's got a good heart in the right place. He hasn't let that twist him. Anyway, Shih-na, you didn't find anything in Mr. Cochin's office, right? That's right. We finished our investigation. And we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin's office. How? Hold it! Like that note? So we didn't find anything? Yes, as I said, not one suspicious thing. Although, as you already know, we did find the Yatagarasu's key and the document detailing the smuggling operation. But we still haven't found the blade that belongs to the Babylese knife handle yet.
Ah, you see? My subordinates worked hard to investigate everything.
But there was nothing else to find, alright? Wow, Agent Lang really sticks up for his people. Langsley says all men are brothers and friends become family. You see? My people are my family and their families are my family too. That's a rather large family you have there. Yes, but as we all know, there's always one black sheep in any family. And though it pains me, Agent Lang, you will know the black sheep in your family. So, do you actually have any proof that the Yatagarasu used the Fireplace passageway? No, I haven't found any yet. Then what are we going to do? There's no need to worry. Because there is a loophole in Miss Interpol agent's argument we can exploit first. The one in charge of the Amelie's investigation was not Agent Lang. Which means that with Agent Shih-na in charge, it's possible she may have tampered with the evidence. That piece of evidence that we found. If there's one thing I do know, it is that someone tried to hide it from us. Okay. So, because of responses that we've had throughout the entire pressing of this thing, this is the suspicious one, because Edgeworth went, ding! So, we're looking at a piece of evidence that was hidden by someone who was there. It's the flowers. Well, we can like kind of get rid of most of the stuff in there. Definitely the passion flowers, right? I mean, we found that, but that wasn't even looked at. So you didn't find that. This is hidden evidence of an incredibly localized, forcefully set fire. It wasn't just a random fire. Why was it all burned up and near the door nonetheless? Which was a very blocking thing. We found that as well. Why was a wet guitar pick on the ground? Can we just get the sniffer dog, please? There was the wire too. There was quite a lot of randomly suspicious things. Why was the clock moved out a bit? Wait, was that to cause the fire? Well, if I had to go at the moment, because we're looking for something that's very specifically hidden, this is a lot of thinking on my part. Counting out, like, all the obvious stuff. Someone's really trying to bring us back to the knife as well. Like, she's trying to bring us back to the knife. So was that a red herring? I mean, you didn't hide the body. You hid something. Where are we going with this? So I think, personally, it's either this, or this, or both. Then with definitely things that she did not pick up in that room. And this. But I guess this is where we're getting into the point where there's a random fire that's like stupidly right next to the door in an incredibly specific place, blocking entrance to a certain amount of time where the murder maybe took place, where there was only one escape route, which was the revolving fireplace. Was it then triggered by the wire somehow? See, this is the thing I'm thinking about, like, we're on the statement itself is about the revolving fireplace. So we've got to create a scenario. But equally, we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Coach's office because it was burned up. We know it was burned. Am I right? Objection! I am right. Didn't find anything suspicious at all. I highly doubt that. But I didn't. You can even ask the other men. I don't need to, for I found what you should have a while ago. Did I? What? Excuse me. In Mr. Coach's office, there were signs that someone had burned counterfeit bills there. I mean, I'm right. What in the... Ah! That evidence was something you found out through that girl's machine, right? So what if it was? Ah, that's what I thought. but unfortunately for you, a recreation made by a machine is hardly concrete proof. Among the ashes you found in the room, did you happen to find any counterfeit bills? No. You see? So there was nothing in that office. Nothing you can call evidence anyway. Objection! Speaking of things that you Interpol agents have missed, I did find one more. Your pompous attitude is unnecessary. All that requires the evidence. Very well. I'll show her the hidden piece of evidence that her and her fellow Interpol agents missed. So I could have done either. So if we're focusing on the doorway-ish, entrance and exit, we're down to now like 2 things. The note, which should have been really obviously not missed, and this wire. But if we're focusing on that area, let's go with that next. I mean, if I fell, it's only a little smidgen. It looks like I get 10 tries after all. Take that! I'd like for you to take a look at this length of wire. And what exactly is it supposed to mean? A length of wire. So what about it? I'll tell you what. We found this in the Babalese embassy not long ago. What? And we found it wound up inside the grandfather clock in Mr. Cochin's office. You found that at the scene of Mr. Cochin's murder? I like how I'm just plucking this out of thin air. I mean, it has required a lot of thinking, but I guess focusing on the revolving fireplace is what we have to do. Anything that's blocking the entrance, the movements of stuff around that area, leading on to one thing to another, it works. So I think you'll agree now that I cannot trust you when you say that Interpol has thoroughly checked every room, and that this throws doubt on the purity of your investigation into the Yatagarasu. You still suspect me, I see. Alright then, I ask that you point out what part of my investigation is incomplete. The other Interpol agents worked under the command of Agent Shih-na. And is it not possible that the reason the person K was chasing chose the 3rd floor was because that person knew there would be no other agents on that floor? Furthermore, we've come to see that Agent Shih-na was only pretending to be investigating the Yatagarasu to the point of arresting K. In that case, there is one location that no one has yet to inspect. Your team's investigation was incomplete because they failed to inspect this location. Literally the doorway, right? Well, no, we've kind of proven that. Actually, can we rephrase this thing when I think about it? Your team's investigation was incomplete because they failed to inspect this location. Okay. Your team didn't. This makes way more sense now. They've inspected the room. They didn't inspect the doorway thoroughly. They didn't get the grandfather clock, sure. But what they didn't inspect was the place that Shih-na works alone at, which is actually next door. But I want them to rephrase this because I've been wondering for so long why after we figured out the revolving thing, why we didn't check that room out ourselves. Why? So it's not that they failed to inspect this location, we also failed to inspect that location. So yeah, I mean we all failed here. Take that! A location, Agent Shih-na, is of course the room you claim to have examined. You worked alone, on purpose. Can we find the coat you were wearing and stuff like that? Like the big dress? What you were using to dress up as the Yatagarasu? Covered in soot, perhaps? I believe the room next to Mr. Cochin's office warrants a thorough inspection, not investigation. Even if you do that, I doubt you'll find anything of use to you there. I will be the one to decide that. Detective Gumshoe? Yes, sir, I'm on it. I'll be right back if I check out the room next to the office. Weren't you in there at one point? Did you see anything? Can't we go? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you really think that Miss Shih-na's the Yatagarasu? Yes, if my logic is sound, I believe she is. But I'm not going to let her get away with ruining the name of the Yatagarasu. But can you prove she's the Yatagarasu is the question. Detective Gumshoe can find what I'm hoping he will find, then I should be able to. And just what are you hoping he'll find? Let's just say this. I, Detective Gumshoe, do a little experiment for me earlier. An experiment? If that detective has the brains for high science. Wasn't that mentally taxing? I had him use the same escape route as the Yatagarasu. And what did you find out by doing that? First, that it's possible for a person to fit through the revolving wall door. Second, that by going through there, his coat was covered in ash and Babalese ink. Who cares what his coat was covered in? It's not worth that much anyway. Ah, but is it really worth so little? I believe that it is actually quite a meaningful result. the value of which I'm about to prove.
Mr. Edgeworth, I found some things you really need to see, sir.
Oh, so what are these things that you found?
Some makeup, a coat, and a pair of shoes, sir.
You found a coat? You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Maybe it's the one the person I was chasing was wearing. Yes, the possibility does exist.
Agent Shih-na,
were these pieces of evidence not in that room when you examined it? Unfortunately for you, those aren't suspicious items of any sort. They all belong to me. They were getting in the way, so I stored them in that room.
Ah.
Thank you for bringing them to me. It saves me a trip. May I have them back now? No, check for soot!
Hold it!
These items the detective brought back are incredibly significant. I request that we be allowed to examine them. Wait a second, no wait a second. It's not soot we checked for, it's not ashes. What got on him? Yeah, that's right. They're my personal belongings. You have no right to touch them without my permission. I wish to examine them for the sake of the investigation. But if you wish to deny us access to them, Agent Lang, let's hear your opinion on this.
I say, let them look at your stuff, Shih-na.
Lang!
Shih-na, let's put it all out in the open. If you're really innocent, then you'll have nothing to worry about, right?
I guess so. Alright, go ahead and examine whatever you'd like. After all, I have nothing to hide. Good. Now let us begin. So which of Agent Shih-na's belongings are you going to examine, sir?
Oh, it wasn't me who was saying that. So which one of Agent Shih-na's belongings are you going to examine, sir?
I mean, we want to check that out anyway, because that's what's in the image. That's what Kay saw. The person who went through that would have been wearing a big, long coat that Shih-na's obviously not wearing now. Let's examine the coat.
Yes, sir.
It appears you managed to stain your coat rather badly. Yes, that was the thing. It wasn't soot. He coughed because of the ashes, but he got a certain something that rubbed off on his coat. Agent Shih-na. Yatagarasu that Kay saw was wearing a coat, and I'm beginning to wonder if this stain wasn't created when you went through the fireplace. Ha! No, you have it wrong. That soot probably got on my coat when I was helping the police put out the fire. And what about this dark substance around the hem of your coat? Oh, I didn't realise that the hem was that dirty. I'm sure it's just some water mixed with soot from when I was helping with the fire. I don't think so. You think you can get away with such a transparent lie?
Yeah, don't lie to us, pal. This is the same pattern of dirt that got on my coat when I went through the fireplace.
Your words ring hollow in the absence of evidence, you know. So unless you can prove that the dirt on my coat is from the fireplace, which I can. What? How? You did a great job, Detective Gumshoe.
Me, sir? What did I do?
This coat is exactly the piece of evidence I was searching for. I've been hoping to find the coat that the person Kay saw was wearing. And thanks to you, we proved that going through the fireplace was Sully a coat.
I don't quite get what you're saying, but I'm happy for the praise, sir.
All that remains is for us to show that the dark substance on the coat hem is... Oh, and you think you could do that? Of course I can. This is the dark substance that sullied the hem of this coat. Now we can finally present this. But Bubbly's ink! Yes, this is what will prove that the coat went through that fireplace. According to Ambassador Plano, he burned some fowls in the fireplace this morning. You told us about that already, so I don't really see the point in mentioning it again. My point is that he spilled some ink onto the back wall of the fireplace at that time. If the dark substance on this coat turns out to be Bubbly's ink, it would prove that you and this coat went through the revolving fireplace wall. Ah! Sorry to have clipped one of your wings, Yatagarasu, but we're not finished yet. But you have no way of proving whether or not this is Bubbly's ink on the coat hem. Oh, but I do! And I intend to show that it is ink in a few seconds. How? How, you ask? Well, since you don't seem to know, allow me to show you. This is how I will prove that the dark substance on the coat is Bubbly's ink. To touch the coat, to wear the coat, to burn the coat! I mean, it's an incredibly flammable ink. I'm actually wondering how flammable normal ink is now. We can find out whether that is Bubbly's ink or not by lighting it on fire.
That's how you're going to prove that it's Bubbly's ink?
Yes, if you could please cut a section of the dark stained area for me, I'd appreciate it. because I will show you here and now what the dark substance is.
Shih-na, sorry to do this, but I'm gonna have to cut off a bit of your coat.
Go ahead. I wasn't planning to wear it anymore anyway. Now then, if someone could loan me a lighter or something. Oh, I've got some matches. I always carry them with me so I can light smoke bombs. Then if I could please have one, Kay, we can get this experiment underway. The flame!
It's the same color as the flame's wit crystal oil produces, which means
Bubbly's ink is a product of wit crystal oil, and when lit, the ink produces a green flame. I believe the time has come to clip the Yatagarasu's other wing. Miss Shih-na, you're the fake Yatagarasu, the one who killed my father. It's about time you came clean, Agent Shih-na, or should I say, Calisto Yew.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, you're not serious, are you?
Do I look like the joking type to you? Calisto Yew, I've never heard that name before in my life. That manner of speaking and that attitude, you haven't changed a bit in 7 years.
You're the defense attorney that killed Mr. Faraday and they're trying to frame me for it.
Oh really? And you have proof? You insist that I am this Calisto Yew woman, but you can't prove it. If you have no proof, then I'm afraid you won't be able to lay a single finger on me.
Objection!
Don't worry, we have evidence with our accusations. The raven is a very unique bird, one that flies by the darkness of night. However, the light of dawn has arrived and it will reveal your true ugly form to the world. Enough poetry. I want to see some evidence. Do you really have something that can prove that she is Calisto Yew? I do. It's something that the second Yatagarasu has preserved for us these last 7 years. Do me the honor, Mr. Edgeworth. I will, Kay, for we have finally come to the end. We'll prove her to be Calisto Yew with this and clip this Yatagarasu's wings for good. Well, with Kay having held on to it, it's only one piece of evidence in our possession. This perfume. This will prove you to be Calisto Yew. It will? Kay has preserved it perfectly for us. Surely you remember this bottle? This belonged to Miss Yew just before she disappeared 7 years ago. Does perfume go off? Naturally, this means that a few of her fingerprints are on her as well. I'm not a... Obviously, I've never worn perfume. I mean, not so obviously, but I remember, like, my grandmother's perfume and all that. I thought, like, it can turn. Like, it's still chemicals, right? If you leave it, won't it turn? Like air, will it oxidize or something like that? 7 years. It's a good question for me. Naturally, this means that a few of her fingerprints are on her as well. Oh, okay. That's what we're going for. I thought we were going to get a sniffer dog. This is that bottle of perfume you spilled, which I have preserved ever since. I heard from my father, Vern Faraday, that if stored under the right conditions, a fingerprint can be preserved for decades. Which means that your fingerprints are still on it, every last one. I mean, it's presumptive to imagine that she was using the same scent for all this time. She did like it, though. We can clear everything up if we were to compare the prints on this to your own. Now come, Agent Shih-na. Will you submit yourself to a fingerprint test? That's assuming that Lang doesn't already have their fingerprints on record. Why do they always have such long evil laughs? It looks like you've seen right through me yet again. You're sending the biggest chill down my spine, Edgeworth. Calisto, you. So you've shown your true face at last. This feeling of thrill is even greater than that time 7 years ago.
Shih-na, you're...
Lang, I really enjoyed our days together. You're an insanely strong, nice, kind-hearted idiot of a man.
She was a spy all along. A mole sent by the smuggling ring I've been chasing after. Someone who's been feeding them intel on Interpol all this time.
Haha, very good. Maybe you're not as big of an idiot as I thought. Calisto Yew, the woman who killed my father 7 years ago. You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu. Honestly, why isn't everyone just like jumping on her and handcuffing her? Like we've definitely proven her guilty of a crime of murder, of 2 murders, right? Haven't we? I guess she never went to actual trial. Oh god, even though we know she did it, she never actually went to trial. Did they actually hold a trial at all? In her absence? Because you could do that, right? Can you? Yikes. You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu. That's right, Calisto Yew. That's just one of my many names. But even that is just a facade. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the great thief, Yatagarasu. Calisto Yew, this time you won't escape, for this is the end of the road for you. Now come along quietly. You know, you're the one who left the strongest impression on me, Kay Faraday. And had you not used the Yatagarasu's gadgets, I might have never known who you were. But here you are, being a thorn in my side, just like your father always was. Kay, don't. You? I'll never forgive you for what you did to my father. Just punch her out. I'll let you have it. I'll let you do it. You really are just like him. Mr. Faraday, too possessed. Such laughable honesty. What? What's up? What? Really? Oh, God. We were still at quite a bit of range. She must move pretty fast. Kay! Ah,
You let Kay go right now, pal!
you're despicable. Let go of me, you filthy... Ah! You think I'm a fake, don't you? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm the real Yatagarasu. That's impossible. My father was the one who created Little Thief. Hey, Edgeworth. The Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is?
Why that's 3 legs? There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be 1 step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. No, it can't be!
Did you finally figure it out? Did you finally know the real identity of the Yatagarasu?
The real identity of the Yatagarasu is...
I mean, Ben Faraday, Calisto Yew?
Neither. The real identity of the Yatagarasu is neither Ben Faraday nor Calisto Yew. But by the same token, they are also both the real Yatagarasu.
Haha! How very perceptive of you. No way!
The single person known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu never existed.
Mr. Edgeworth! No, I refuse to believe this!
The Yatagarasu is known to have 3 special skills. Skill number 1. The Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. And a lawyer would have the opportunity to learn the layout of client corporations. Skill number 2. The Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. And a good prosecutor would be well versed in the ways of a criminal. And skill number 3. The Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever.
Which means you need someone from another wing of the branch of justice.
Detective Bad! It was only natural for the Yatagarasu to never leave evidence behind. Because the lead detective on the case hid it all away. You're the 3rd member of the Yatagarasu? You. I've been looking for you a long time. 7 long years. But I finally got you.
Why, Mr. Baz? Long time no see. What happened to us? We used to be such a great team. But then you murdered people. If you were such a great team, then why did you kill my father 7 years ago? Why indeed? It was nothing personal, really. He was just another person I had to kill. How can you say that? I grow weary of this, and it's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time, I won't miss.
Stop! You! Hey! It's over, Shih-na.
Your leg!
Agent Lang! Ugh! You idiot! What were you thinking, jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for? I'm sorry, Detective Bad, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she's a spy, it doesn't change the fact that she is my subordinate. And as long as she is, we can't allow any harm to come to her. Not even from you.
You really are an idiot. You know that?
Yeah, that's fine with me. You should know by now this is just how I am. Hey sis,
Yes?
I want you to conduct a full body search. Shih-na might have another weapon on her.
Alright. Detective Gumshoe, your assistance please.
Sir! Hey, I found something!
Well, we did find something, but we also found the end of the episode yet again. Our time has run out for yet another part of Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations. But still be warned, we've not gone through most of the evidence still. So how much more legs does it have on it? We found the person that murdered someone, I guess, but remember there's more than one murder in this place. Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this indeed? But luckily, Kay is safe. We now have Miss Yew caught. Lang has been shot and needs some medical attention. And we revealed what the Yatagarasu really is. Let's reveal even more next time on Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.